Good morning. I'm Stephanie Elam, and this is a very special edition of Your Bottom Line. We've teamed up with the fine folks from CNN iReport to bring you an in-depth look at how the economy is impacting lives all across the country and how you can learn from it. This morning, we're taking America's pulse through our iReporters. We've been following people from around the country who, just like you, have had to react to the changing economy. You've got questions, we've got answers. The show that saves you money starts right now. Let's get into it because we've got a lot of great advice for you and your family this morning. And by the end of this half hour, you'll be armed with the information you need to make smarter financial decisions. Here with us for the entire show is clinical psychologist Jeff Gardere and personal finance author Carmen Wong Ulrich. And also joining us as well is Doug Flynn of Flynn, Zito Capital Management. Thanks so much for all of you joining us here.
Thank you.
I want to go ahead and start this morning with a bit about budgeting. It's a big one. No one wants to talk about it, but we really need to. And I think a lot of folks really underestimate just how important it is. So let's get the conversation started in the Midwest and take a listen to this iReport from Wisconsin.
You guys rely on tax time more than any time in the year?
Yeah, that's like our Christmas season for a retail store.
Christmas season for a retail store. Well, Guy Daniels, the owner of Expressions Inc., a tattoo shop, he's joining us now via Skype. Guy, glad you could be here. So tell us, tax time, it's way behind us now. So what is business looking like these days?
It tends to slow down about this time of year because people are spending money for their children's school supplies and school clothes. But we still stay steady. It's just not as busy as it is during tax season.
So does that mean then you've had to sort of pad your budget so that you can make it through the rest of the year?
Yeah, we alter our budget a little bit. Maybe during tax season, we stock up on supplies a little bit so we can help make it through the slow time.
All right, so Doug, when you hear a story like this, where you got a guy who has a sort of a seasonal business, right? People get their tax return, they're like, woohoo, I've always wanted to get that butterfly on my shoulder, and they go out and do that, right? If that's the case, what can he do to really keep business going throughout the year?
Sure. Well, people who have fluctuating incomes, especially self-employed people and business owners, do have to plan more than a person who has a steady paycheck week to week. So typically what you'll do is you'll want to have a little bit of an extra cash reserve built up because there could be a light point in time where you're going to need to pull from that. And during the time when you have a little bit of extra money, he's doing the right thing, stocking up and maybe putting a little bit away so that you can even out your cash flow to the business. So those are some of the things you need to do when you're a business owner.
Yeah, and you know, when I think about this, Jeff, you think about the pressures of being your own boss, right? And no matter what the business may be, maybe it's tattoos, maybe you make, you know, flower arrangements, whatever it is, what are some things that you can do to fortify not just yourself, but also your employees?
Well, I think the important thing, and adding on to what Doug has said, make a plan. Yes, as consultants, just as Guy, we're in that position where a lot of times we're not in control of our lives, especially when it comes to income coming in here and there and so on. So if you can make that plan and be able to save and almost track it, if not even predict the trends as to where things are going, that will give us more power, empower us to be more in control of our lives and of our businesses.
Yeah, and when you take a look at all those things, and if you have a little bit of extra money and you wanted to invest it, Guy, that's what Guy's been saying. What should he do, Carmen?
Yeah, here's the thing. Are folks like Guy and everybody who's self-employed right now, just understand that first, you know, like you said, Doug, you've got to make sure to have the cash reserves. Even though you may feel like you're losing money, and you know what, we are losing money when we put our cash into savings accounts. Between taxes and the fact that you're not earning much, you're actually losing money. But don't worry about it because you need to protect that cash because the cash is going to protect you down the road. For example, when it's not tax time, when people aren't getting their tattoos, but also in terms of investing. Remember when you're self-employed that you have tools at your disposal to get tax-friendly investing, like a SEP, a simplified employee pension. So think about definitely, absolutely always setting that up first rather than just putting your money into certain stock investments. You need to protect it for tax reasons.
And Guy, just tell us, how do you feel you've done overall with the economy as it's been? How's your business held up in the long view of things?
I think we've done all right because we've been around so long. I do have a steady customer base, so I think we'll make it through even if it does get a little bit worse because of my reputation.
And reputation is huge, Guy. That's really a big deal, and that's something to bank on as well. We wish you the best of luck with your business, and thanks so much for joining us today. And thank you, Doug, for joining us as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, up next, meet a man who says sometimes you need to take matters into your own hands.
Just being daring, and I think that when times are as rough as they are now with the economy, you really have to, rely on yourself to, to take the extra leap.
He hasn't gotten a raise or a big bonus check, but he's got big plans for himself and his family. You'll meet him next.